Welcome to this deep dive. Today we've got something really interesting you sent over. Lyrics from a song in Spanish and also the English translation.
Mm-hmm.
And our plan really is to unpack the feelings, the conflicts, kind of the whole emotional journey packed into these words.
Yeah, it's like looking at the end of a relationship, but, trying to understand the bigger picture, the universal stuff in there.
So we're essentially going to walk through it piece by piece, look at the feelings, maybe figure out the hinted reasons for the split.
Exactly, verse by verse, like following the thought process, see what emotions come up, and yeah, what the lyrics suggest about why it ended.
Okay, let's jump in then. Verse 1. It starts, Antes que nada, te agradezco lo vivido. First of all, I thank you for what I experienced. Starting with thanks, that feels significant.
It really does. It's kind of striking, isn't it? Instead of jumping straight into the hurt, there's this acknowledgement, gratitude even.
Yeah, it suggests a certain maturity maybe,
Yeah.
looking back and seeing value even though it's over.
Yeah, I think so. It sets a particular tone, Acknowledging the shared past before digging into the problems, it feels quite emotionally intelligent, actually.
But then, like, immediately after, you get this plea, por favor, déjame hablar, no me interrumpas, te lo pido, please let me speak, don't interrupt me, I'm begging you. That shifts the mood fast.
It really does. That I'm begging you. It's quite strong. It makes you wonder about their conversations before this point, doesn't it?
Right, like maybe being heard was a real issue in the relationship.
Potentially, yeah. That desperation to just get the words out, it hints at a dynamic where maybe one person felt consistently talked over or shut down. It's a raw need for expression right there.
Absolutely. And then this feeling of, well, confusion maybe. Lo que nos pasó ya pasó, y no tuvo sentido. What happened to us already happened and it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, y si estuviste confundido, ahora yo me siento igual. And if you were confused, now I feel the same. It's like, it's over, but the why is still foggy for both of them.
That resonates, I think. Breakups aren't always neat, are they? Sometimes there isn't one clear reason, just this sense that things fell apart.
Yeah.
And that shared confusion, now I feel the same, it suggests that they both maybe struggled to really grasp what went wrong. It makes moving on harder when there's no clear narrative.
Okay, so then comes the pre-chorus. And it's predicting the future, almost. Seguramente con el tiempo te arrepientas. Surely with time you'll regret it.
Uh-huh.
Y algún día quieras volver a tocar mi puerta. And someday you'll want to come back to my door. But then, bang. Pero ahora. But now, he decidido estar sola. I have decided to be alone.
Right, that contrast is fascinating. It's like, I see that potential future where you come back, but...
But not right now.
Exactly. Right now, I've decided something different. It's about claiming the present moment, isn't it? Prioritizing being alone, even while acknowledging the ex might regret things later. It's a statement of current resolve.
That leads into the chorus and this central image. Se me perdió el amor a mitad de camino. I lost my love halfway. Wow. Halfway. Like the journey wasn't finished.
That metaphor is so potent. Halfway. It implies it started well, there was promise, but it just stopped. Faded out before reaching whatever destination they imagined.
Yeah, it makes you think, what happened on that road? Was it one big event or just slow erosion?
In the phrasing, I lost my love, it has this passive feel, doesn't it? Like it slipped away maybe beyond their control, or perhaps that's how it felt to the speaker.
And then the question directed at the partner, ¿Cómo es que te cansaste algo tan genuino? How come you got tired of something so genuine? And there's real hurt in that. Like, how could you?
Oh, absolutely. It's bewildered. This
Yeah.
felt so real to me, so authentic. How could that not be enough for you? It really highlights how differently two people can experience the same relationship.
Yeah, what one person sees as genuine, the other just doesn't feel anymore, I guess.
Exactly. It points to that fundamental gap in perception, maybe in needs, that they couldn't bridge. The speaker's just grappling with that disconnect.
And the chorus wraps up so firmly, No trate de convencerme, te lo pido.
Right.
Don't try to convince me, I ask you, que ya está decidido. It's already decided, we have what we learned. It's like, don't argue, it's done.
Yes, the finality is strong. It's already decided. And that line, we have what we learned, that's key.
Trying to find some meaning in it all.
I think so. It's a way of framing the loss not just as pain, but as experience, as something gained, even if it's just a hard lesson. It's about finding some agency, some closure, maybe.
Okay, verse 2. This seems to get into the nitty-gritty of the differences. Tú querías salir y yo quedar contigo en casa. You wanted to go out and I wanted to stay with you at home.
Mm-hmm.
Classic conflict.
And tú comerte el mundo, yo solo quería tenerte. You take on the world and I just wanted to have you.
It paints a picture of really different priorities, doesn't it?
It really does. One person focused outward ambition, experiences, the world, and the other focused inward on the connection, the US, that kind of fundamental difference in what you want from life and from the relationship itself.
It can wear things down over time.
Definitely. It's a common theme, you know?
Yeah.
If your core desires and lifestyles are pulling in opposite directions, it creates friction. It's not necessarily about right or wrong desires, just incompatible ones.
And it seems the incompatibility spread. Ya ni tus amigos con los míos combinaban. Not even your friends matched mine anymore.
Right.
Then that killer line, más fácil era mezclar el agua y el aceite. It was easier to mix the water and oil. Oof.
Yeah, that's vivid. It suggests the social divide wasn't just awkward, it was fundamental, like they operated in totally separate worlds by the end.
How much does that social stuff usually play into things?
It can be huge. Friends often reflect our values or interests. If your partner doesn't fit with your friends, or vice versa, it can feel like you're constantly code switching, or that parts of your life are walled off from each other. That water and oil just perfectly captures that feeling of unmixable elements.
Then the speaker brings up the partner's reason for leaving, or at least their version of it. Dice que te hace sentir que nunca nada me alcanzaba. You say it made you feel like nothing was ever enough for me.
Ah, okay.
Y que para mí todo era poco, insuficiente. And that, for me, everything was little, insufficient. So the partner felt like they could never measure up.
That's a really important perspective to include. It suggests a dynamic where maybe the speaker did express dissatisfaction or had high expectations, or maybe just communicated their needs in a way that landed as criticism.
Right, whether intended or not.
Exactly. We're hearing it through the speaker's filter, of course, but it points to a potential pattern where the partner felt constantly evaluated and found wanting. That's a heavy burden in a relationship.
And yet, even hearing those reasons or understanding them, the immediate feeling is still loss. Así que te fuiste y me dejaste un hueco aquí en mi cama. So you left and left me a space here in my bed.
The physical reality of it.
Pasa el tiempo y no puedo sacarte de mi mente.
Yeah.
Time goes by and I can't get you out of my mind. Even if it made sense on paper, the heart takes longer, huh?
Absolutely. Logic and emotion run on different tracks sometimes. The intellectual understanding that it's over doesn't just switch off the feelings, the memories, the habits of being together. That empty space in the bed, it's such a concrete symbol of the absence, and the mind keeps replaying things, trying to process its grief.
Okay, now the second pre-chorus. And here's that subtle shift we talked about. Instead of surely you'll regret it, it becomes Seguramente con el tiempo me arrepientes. Surely with time I will regret it.
Yes, and the focus turns inward.
And wanting to knock on the door changes from you wanting to come back to me potentially wanting to. Y algún día quiera volver a tocar tu puerta. And someday I want to come back to your door.
It's a big shift, acknowledging her own potential regret, her own possible future longing. It adds this layer of vulnerability, of self-reflection.
And then the decision isn't just, I've decided. It's pero ahora. But now debo aprender estar sola. I must learn to be alone. It's become a task, something to work on.
Exactly. It's not just a state, it's a process. I must learn. It implies recognizing that being alone after this relationship isn't easy. It requires effort, adaptation, maybe healing. It's a really mature realization, moving from just deciding to understanding the work involved.
Then the choruses come back, reinforcing those core ideas. But the very last time, there's that tiny, tiny word change that feels huge.
The shift from my love to our love.
Yeah, se me perdió el amor becomes se nos rompió el amor a mitad de camino. Our love broke halfway. Not just I lost it, but it broke and it was ours.
That change from me into nos, UCR, is incredibly significant, I think. It shifts the frame from personal loss to a shared failure.
Like acknowledging it took both of them or the dynamic between them for it to fall apart.
Precisely. Our love broke. Suggests it wasn't just one person's fault or feeling, but something about the relationship itself, the shared entity, that fractured. It can be a less blame-focused way of looking back, maybe a step towards a more balanced acceptance.
And then it just ends with just sounds, no more words.
Yeah, those nonverbal sounds, they leave you hanging a bit, don't they?
They do. What do you read into that? Is it just sighing, resignation?
Could be any of those. A sigh, definitely. Maybe just the sound of lingering emotion that words can't quite capture anymore. It feels like an exhale after laying everything out, but maybe not everything is fully resolved, you know? There's still feeling there.
So looking back at the whole thing, it's quite a journey squeezed into these lyrics. From that initial surprising thank you
Through the confusion, the plea to be heard.
to spilling out the different desires, the social clash, the partner's feeling of inadequacy.
Then that turn towards self-reflection, the potential for her own regret, the need to learn to be alone.
And finally, landing on that sense of shared breakage, that our love broke. It covers a lot of ground.
It really does. And I think for anyone listening, these themes are probably hitting home. Losing love, relationships changing, feeling misunderstood, trying to figure out why things end. It's deeply human stuff.
Totally relatable, even if the specifics are unique to the song. It reminds you how complex these dynamics are.
Yeah. These lyrics capture that complexity really well.
It definitely leaves you thinking about that idea of love being lost halfway or breaking halfway. What are those little moments, those subtle shifts in a relationship that maybe start the cracks forming?
That's a great question. The turning points that you might only recognize looking back.
Yeah. And what can we maybe learn from seeing those patterns, even in hindsight? Definitely something to chew on.
Absolutely. Food for thought.
Well, thanks for digging into this with us today. It was fascinating.